Hey YouTubers, today I'm going to give you some tips on landscaping ideas. I know that it's hard when you're just first starting out your yard and you wondering what to do, and you're wanting to of course make it pretty and good looking and cozy and all that. So in this video I'm going to give you various ideas and show you some pictures, kind of help you out a little bit. So in this first one, as you can see, we have some little patio with pavers. This can be really good for a couple purposes. One of them, of course, being if you have an overflow of family or friends, they can put chairs. They can extend the chairs out so they're not just sitting on the grass. And of course, they also work great for a walkway to garden or wherever else you might want them to go in your yard. So that's that. Let me show you the next one here. Having a waterfall is always a great idea, especially if your backyard has drainage problems. Might as well capitalize on the problem and turn the area into a water feature. Here you can see the homeowner struggles with low damp spot they struggled with it for years until they excavated the area and transformed the problem into a landscaping focal point. And of course I always love the sound of running water. In this next one, you can see I have a pergola in the yard here. This is really good idea if you want to cover up an ugly area. If you have an old shed, a barn or something in the background that it's not very pretty, this is a great thing to put in your yard. Of course, it's also a good shade protector, and they just look really pretty. Adds a lot of flavor to your yard. So that's a great landscaping idea. If you have a porch or a deck, what I would recommend is you plant a lot of bushes, flowers underneath it, around the edges, so that it's not just a gaping hole in there. A lot of people just leave it open, and it usually looks ugly under there. So definitely consider adding flowers, tall grass, whole variety of bushes and so forth. Here you can see if you have a flat yard, you can do something like this staged area here, or if you plan on having a big screen or projector in your backyard, or just anything like that. This would work really great. I also really love the background that they have here, and so anyway, that's a really great idea if you have really flat yard, not a lot of hills. One thing that I really love about this one is if you have a lot of family and friends over, create a dining area, a place where you can have a lot of picnics and stuff outside. I just thought this was really, really pretty idea with the patio and the picnic tables. So if you're like me, you like picnics, consider something like this. One of the most important things is first impression. So the entrance to your yard, put a little gate, fence, something like you see in the picture here, little small pergola. It really just makes the entrance look cozy to your yard. Something on the side yard or something would be a perfect place for this. If you have an ugly corner, I thought this was a brilliant idea. And if you have a flat yard or not, put some bricks, put a little flower bed there, just kind of raise it up. Maybe put a tree in the back, give you some extra shade protection. Another idea, I really like this one, especially if you live close to neighbors. Put some curtains in your yard like they have here. Protect you from the neighbors if you want a privacy, romantic evening, just kind of get away from the prying eye of the neighbors or the road or highway or whatever might be around you. This one, if you have a little bit wider yard, a long skinny yard, if you do a little reflection pond like this, even like a small yard, it'll make it look bigger, kind of like you know, the mirror effect. You kind of look into it and you see a lot more. So get a little still pond when you stand close to it. Kind of makes the whole yard just look a little bigger. Kind of mentioned this before, but if you're close to neighbors, plant a bunch of trees. There's nothing like good privacy, cozy backyard. I don't like prying neighbors, that's for sure, and I'm sure you don't either. Plant a bunch of trees around the edges so you can create a little sanctuary for yourself and your family. If you have a hill in your yard, a little bit of slope, put a patio. I like how this patio steps down right from the hill. A little half patio, just really makes the yard look comfortable, cozy, nice. I don't know, nice place to be. If you one of my favorite things to do is to go in the backyard and light a little fire and have hot dogs or marshmallow roast or s'mores with my kids. So, of course, I would strongly recommend you add a fire pit. That's a really pretty thing here. And also, if you can, I'm sure your house is already built, but if you haven't yet, consider keeping your doors wide open, making a place where you can just slide a whole bunch of doors open like you can see in the picture here and just kind of walk out into the yard. Really pretty. And in this one, you can see we have an apple tree by the house. If you're going to plant bushes and stuff, try thinking of multiple purposes they can be used for. This apple tree is used for shade protection. It obviously bears fruit, and it's a nice decoration. So there's multiple uses you can get out of just one bush. Try to think of things like that. You know, if there's trees and stuff that apple trees, fruit trees, whatever. If you're going to plant a tree, you might as well plant something like that that will be used for multiple uses. So, if you one thing I'd recommend, one thing that I like to do is to grow a garden with fruit and veggies, have flower patches, but one thing I'd recommend is you dedicate a spot in your yard to grow vegetables, and that way you can obviously live off the land and get fresh fruit and veggies. If you don't want a lot of grass, you don't like mowing, considering adding a whole bunch of flower patches, maybe with a waterfall. I've always liked yards like that. If you do it right, there's not a lot of upkeep. If you put a lot of gravel down, a lot of wood chips, just kind of like a little forest area. It's really pretty. Consider putting a shed in for your tools. Have a little garden shed in the back of your yard somewhere. I thought this was a really pretty example. Little flower shed here. Nice place to put all your stuff anyway. And last one that I have here is a little gazebo, kind of like a pergola. But I just thought this was really cozy. Great idea. Place to sit. You have a little bit of indoor furniture here. Kind of like a living room setting. You could even put some curtains or something on the side of this. And that way you can block yourself from the wind, shade, everything. So anyway, that is some of the ideas for this landscaping idea video. And I hope that you will hit the like button below and share this with your family and friends, and I hope it's been useful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks.